Good afternoon. You guys have a little extra glow with you this afternoon. How about that? No, I wasn't gonna say that. No, yeah. We'll move on from that. Aggie Pride. It was a great Saturday for North Carolina A&T, a 33-30 double overtime win over the Hampton Pirates. It's also been a really good Monday. Andrew Brown was named CAA Co-Special Teams Player of the Week. Congratulations. North Carolina A&T was also named the FCS HBCU National Team of the Week after the win. Congratulations. It is NCCU week, so it will be an exciting time at Truist Stadium. Kickoff is scheduled for 4:00 p.m. I know we will see you there. And here to tell us all about it is our head coach, Mr. Shawn Gibbs.
Good afternoon. I want to start off by thanking my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for all that he has done and all that he will continue to do. I'd also like to start this off by making an apology. My actions after the game on Saturday against Hampton was caught on tape, and I just want you guys to know that that's not how I want to represent myself, my family, this program, or this university, and that won't happen again. So thank you for that, and I apologize. But to the game, I can't tell you how proud I am of these guys. They showed the heart of a champion to be down 10 points with under a minute left and to come back and find a way to win the football game shows the resiliency that these guys have. They've got a lot of fight. We were able to win a football game, our first CAA win with our 6th and 7th quarterback. Now, they're not. Now, I want people to understand that was just the number that they were in the organizational chart. The reason we were able to win is because they don't see themselves like that. They both see themselves as the number one guy. And that's the only way that you're going to get a program to where we're trying to go is when everybody prepares like they're a starter. So I want to tip my hat to the quarterbacks, Noah and Nelson, to Coach McGee for getting those guys prepared, as well as the entire quarterback room, because it took all of them. This shows what a family those guys are. But, you know, it was a great game. Guys made plays when it mattered, and we were able to get our first CAA win, first home win, and it was a wonderful thing. But now it's time to move on and flush that victory. This week, 4:00 on Saturday, we got North Carolina Central. Great team, championship team. They have a great coaching staff led by Coach Oliver, two really good coordinators, and Coach Leone and Jesse Thompson. They got a really good quarterback, really good running back, Chris Mosley. He's explosive. They play hard on defense. They got a nasty offensive line, and it's going to be a challenge. But this is the game. This is not just another game on our schedule. It's versus North Carolina Central. It's our rival. We're looking forward to it. We're going to exceed their physicality. We're going to exceed their effort, and we're ready to go. So we'll see you Saturday at 4:00.
Coach, last week you were pretty adamant that you did not like night games. In lieu of what happened this past week, have you changed your stance on night games?
No, I haven't. I mean, I'm saying as a coach, our players like night games, but I can't wait around all day. I'd rather get up and get after it. Like waiting around all day and having to watch these knuckleheads till 5 o'clock. No, give me a 12 o'clock game.
But seriously, what was that environment like? It was pretty bad.
It was a great atmosphere. When I walked out the stadium, I looked, I said, man, this is nice. You know, what was it, about 15,000, 16,000 people there? It was packed. The band was cranking. They were loud. Great environment. So once I get out there, I loved it, but it's just waiting around all day. That's the part I don't like.
And also, you're talking about the crazy amount of injuries that you suffered at the quarterback position coming into this week. You had lost 3 quarterbacks the previous week. had a great first half, 10-10 at halftime. Your freshman quarterback lead you downfield, and you find out at halftime, I guess, that he can't go. So what is the thought process? Like, oh man, we're doing this again? What was that the initial reaction?
Next man up. I mean, only thing you can do is control what you can control. You can control your attitude, your effort, and your outlook. So there's nothing we could do about it. And, we believe in Nelson and Noah. So, I always hate to see anybody get injured. So, I was concerned about Nelson and, how bad the injury was. But I knew that Noah was going to come in and get us through. I actually, looking back on it, I kind of handicapped Noah a little bit because, my wife, she calls me a helicopter dad. So when I win my son, I'm always over him trying to make sure everything's good, and I was kind of doing the same thing with Noah. I didn't want to put him in a bad position. So, when we got in that 2-minute drill, it was time to let him go play. And we had no choice. And he showed us what he could do. So super proud of both of those guys.
After the game, you guys had late night game. A lot of folks left. Was that a situation where you think it was just the time, or do you think it's still got to earn the trust of the folks that you guys can come back?
I don't know. Like I said earlier, it could be, when during like Christmas, my wife and I, we always go down to a bowl game in Orlando to the Cheez-It Bowl and watch it. Always leave early. Could be one of those things. I think probably a lot of husbands, their wives made them leave early to beat traffic, or something like that. So that's what I'm saying it was.
And then last week you talked about how Hampton had embarrassed you guys. They beat these guys pretty good over in Durham. I'm sure your guys remember that. Would that be motivation again this week?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know if you need any extra motivation to play North Carolina Central. That's our rival. That's the game. But they did put 66 on us, and they told us to take it back to Greensboro. So that's what we did. Now we back in Greensboro, so we wait.
Coach, you talk about saying this is the game. Are you worried about players being too overhyped heading into Saturday?
No, I want us to be too whatever. Like it's that type of game. Because everybody says that, but do you think they telling Ohio State and Michigan? You think Ohio State or Michigan is telling either one of those teams don't put too much in this game? No, it's the game. And so we're playing North Carolina Central, and it's the game. So we want to be hyped. We're going to be crunk. We're going to be ready to go. That's how you're supposed to be in a game like this.
Coach, one thing that was evident was the physicality you brought in the running game. You saw that with J.T. Smith and Wesley Graves. Let's talk a little bit about those two guys going back and forth.
Yeah, well, it starts with up front with the offensive line. Those are guys making the holes. But, yeah, Wesley was really running the ball, and JT did a good job, but JT also, was doing too much. The touchdown run that they had to review, we made that way too hard. Just stick your head down, jump over the pile, get a body up, do whatever you got to do to get the ball in the end zone. But getting north and getting the ball in the end zone, trying to bounce in and look cute, that was a little too much. That's what we can't do against a team like this. It's going to be a bloody your nose type game. So we need JT to run with the physicality that he's capable of, but also be a playmaker. And we know Wes is going to show up. I tell Wes all the time. I told him at halftime, we're going to put this game on your shoulders, and you're going to have to win it for us. I mean, he's 5'9", 225 pounds. That ain't easy. That's not fun to tackle. It's not fun to tackle in the first quarter. So they don't want none in the fourth quarter or overtime. So that's just our mentality. We want to try to be as physical as we can and be as tough as we can. And those guys embody that.
Yeah, can you go back to the onside kick? What was this, I guess, the design of that kick, and who was supposed to block that? I know there's a lot of moving parts on onside.
Well, I mean, it was designed. It was executed exactly like it was designed. First of all, it started with a great kick from Andrew, and we're trying to kick it and block all their frontline guys and let Aaron Harris recover it. And we got a good bounce, and it worked out just like we designed it.
Why Aaron Harris? Why was he doing?
Because he's a playmaker, and because we trust him. I mean, if you look at the guys that we're going to with the game on the line, Wesley Graves has been here a long time. Money Brown's been here a long time. Jameson Warren's been here a long time. Aaron Harris been here a long time. Those are the ones that's sick of losing. So if you need somebody to make a play when it counts, go to one of them because they want it. And I think it showed.
Coach, looking at Central this weekend, what are those challenges that team is going to present, and how are you kind of tackling that in practice this week?
Well, like I said, they are a really good football team. Coach Oliver and I were teammates. So I've known him for a long time. We worked together in a number of places, worked together here for a long time and won some championships. And so he is a really bright coach. And I know he's a coach that can motivate those guys. He's confident, and he's going to have them coming in here ready to play. Now, I told my guys yesterday, if you think for a second that they don't want it as bad as we do, you fooling yourself. He going to have them ready. Now, they're going to be ready. And they're well coached. And, you know, they got Walker Harris is playing at a high level. He's a really good quarterback, really efficient. He's starting to run the ball more, use his feet more, and put his body on the line. He flipped into the end zone against Fayetteville State, gave his body up. That Chris Mosley kid, the running back, showed out against Southern. And they got good receivers. They're good on defense. They're well coached, led by Coach Thompson, and they play hard. So, yeah, it's a tremendous challenge. You know, they put 66 on us last year for a reason. You know, they're a pretty good team. You know, everybody ain't just putting 66 up on people, so they're a good team. But, you know, our challenge is to play our best game. We also started the game off last year with a kickoff return for a touchdown. And then from that point, nothing. You know, we didn't finish. So we just gotta compete. You know, we got to play our game. We know they're good. They're a championship program. But, you know, we're working to get back to where we used to be. And so we're going to go out and we're going to give it our best. That's all you can ask from these kids is to give it your best. And I know we're going to do that.
Yeah, had a chance to ask Coach Oliver this earlier on the MEAC call. You know, if both you guys are friends and everything like that. Intense rivalry, though. Both you guys acknowledge that. Handshakes after the game. He said that, you know, that's, you know, if nothing else, you guys are going to shake hands. Is that your expectation pretty much?
100%. And, you know, that was part of my issue last week. That was part of my issue last week. You know, as a coach, I've got my butt kicked before. I've lost we played Tennessee State, and we lost by getting a field goal blocked. But I walked across the field, and I shook Coach Barlow's hand like a man is supposed to do. So if I go to shake your hand and you don't at least pay me the respect of coming to shake my hand and saying, good job, coach, and I have a problem with it. So I know, you know, it's going to be intense. And we might not need our teams to shake hands because, it might get chippy out there. But Coach Oliver and I are going to – that's like my brother. So I'm going to shake his hand. I'm going to try to rip his head off the same way he's going to try to rip my head off during the game. But after the game, it's about respect. So, yeah, we'll congratulate each other after the game.
And last one for me, I know I saw Tariq, and I'm sure there were other, you know, former guys that played for you that were right there on the field with you. How important was that to have them and have them be a part of what you guys are doing moving forward? Well,
Tariq's been around, so, you know, it's always good to have him because of his energy. So, you know, we're encouraging more guys to come back and, you know, kind of show our guys what this is about, especially during a week like this when we're playing our biggest rival. But, yeah, anytime you can have Tariq Cohen around, it's great, not only because of his energy, because of the things that he's done here. So he can probably help give somebody a little bit more confidence, especially at the running back position.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned how last year against NCCU, you guys scored in the beginning and then didn't for the remainder of the game. And there were kind of some similar things, well, not similar, but there were kind of stalls in offense during the second half last game. So what are ways that the team can, like, adjust to make sure that the offense can continue to run smoothly, like, throughout the entire game?
Well, I got to do a better job of coaching them, period, point blank. You know, I'll say this all the time. Whenever you got guys that are playing hard, if things aren't going right, then we're not coaching them right. So we just got to do a better job of getting them in position. Like I said, I got to do a better job of trusting that Noah can execute the offense efficiently when he's in there and not handcuff him or handicap him. But we're going to go to work and we're going to get better. We haven't been together a long time. We've had 15 practices in the spring and, you know, a couple games. So we're going to continue to improve, and we got to figure out what guys can do and how to get guys involved. You know, that's something that I want to make sure that we're doing because we have some other playmakers. I mean, you've seen what Jameson Warren can do with the game on the line, but we got a Monty Jones and a couple other guys. You saw JD made a couple plays, but we got to get more guys involved in the offense. Of course, you know, I want to run the ball. I want to run the ball down your throat if I can. But we got enough playmakers that we got to spread the ball around. And so that's our job as coaches to figure out how we can get more guys involved.
Thank you.
Coach, what's the breakdown of practice going to look like this week?
You did a great job at halftime.
Thank you.
Okay, I just want you to know that.
Thank you.
Well, we're not going to change anything structurally as far as how we do our practices. That's what you can't do in a rivalry. The only thing that really changes is the intensity that you play with. But we're going to try to keep the schedule the same as we've always done it. It'll be the same as last week as far as what times we're doing, what we're working on situationally. We probably will add a couple more situations. One thing that comes to mind is until Saturday during the 2-minute drive and we needed to score, Noah had never done it. He'd never done it. So that was his first time was in live action. So, that is a lesson to all the guys on the team where, just because you're not taking those reps, you need to be on the side taking mental notes. You need to make sure you're watching the film. You need to make sure you're actively engaged and understand what's going on. And Noah's a testament to that. So those are some things that we'll do. We'll make sure that we've got Noah and Nelson ready to go with any situations that they might not have worked on up until this point.
Is there any specific drills in practice that you guys do to kind of get everybody fired up or to up the competition, basically?
Well, we start off practice in a tempo period, and that's really good on good. So it's the first offense versus the first defense for 5 plays, and then the second offense versus the second defense for 5 plays. Just trying to go fast and get our juices flowing so we can start practice off the right way. But it's also, we talk about starting fast and finishing strong. So, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to start the game fast and finish strong. We didn't really do a bad job of starting fast. I think we did okay on Saturday. We definitely finished strong. So what we got to really work on is the middle 8. That's the last 4 of the first half and first 4 of the second half, first 4 minutes. You got to win that as well. So if we can start fast, win the middle 8, finish strong, then we'll have some success.
Obviously, big win. I know you said you flushed it. But what does that kind of say about your team to have a win like that?
That they're resilient. Like I said, I try to hold myself to the same standard I hold the team. And I hope everybody else does that because you know what? They didn't quit. Now, some people did. Not them. With a minute left, down 10, they ain't quit. They kept going. They kept fighting. They're resilient. So I just hope everybody can get on board like that. We fight to the end around here. It ain't never over till it's over. Now, our next step is getting to where we're not in situations like that. We want to start dominating people eventually. But it just shows the resiliency of these guys. You come out and just watch the way they work. Think about all they've been through, how easy it would be to quit. Here we go again. That would be easy to say. They don't say that because we got leaders like Andrew Brown and Jameson Warren that won't let them quit. So that's what it says. It's about the guys on this team, especially our leaders and our captains.
And then how much pressure on those leaders, with all the injuries? I mean, if you were a national team, with all the injuries you had in the quarterback room, you'd be a national story. But with how many injuries you've had, how much pressure is on your defense and maybe even the running back room to, keep driving and keep, going?
Well, I mean, I don't know if I like the word pressure. Because pressure is just self-imposed stress. It's an expectation. We know that the running backs have to step up to help out the quarterback. We know that the defense has to step out. So that's just our expectation. We're expecting our guys to go out and play at a high level, no matter who we're playing, no matter what situation we're in. And so that's the culture we're trying to build.
And then lastly, you enter this room, round of applause, you've heard around. What is that kind of feeling like? I know you're trying to flush those energies. What is it kind of like to enter a room and have that kind of support behind you?
It's been great, but it's not deserved. I mean, honestly, I'm just a coach. It's those guys that's out there playing. It's the assistant coaches that's putting the game plan together. I'm getting too much credit for that. That was all them. But I appreciate the support that we had. And like I said, in the locker room, those are the people that matter. Like the people that's in here and the people that stayed after the entire game and all those guys in the locker room, as long as we're doing it for each other, it ain't me, it's us. All of us did that. So all of us deserve. I don't deserve a round of applause. All of us do that.
Coach Gibbs, taking a look at the game Saturday, beyond just winning the football game, what are some of the things that you're going to be looking to get accomplished actually in the game?
Was your voice that deep Saturday? Now you said, what are we looking to get accomplished?
Yes, sir.
Well, I mean, to win. That's the main thing. I can sit up here and give you all these coaches answers that you want, but our main objective is to find a way to win the football game. And we know it's going to be a challenge. We know they're going to come in and they're going to be ready. We know it's going to be a dog fight, but they're coming in the doghouse. this week. And so we got to find a way to win. That's what it's about. It's about winning the football game any way possible.
Thanks, Coach.
Coach, as far as go back to your quarterbacks, you said you had to force to play 7 guys now who were initially on your roster. That says something about your recruiting. Like, how do you get 7 guys on one program who all have the intentions to step up when they call them?
Well, we really only got 2 with Nelson and Ja. Those are the guys that we recruited. So, what I think it says more is about the coaching job that Coach McGee has done with those guys. I can guarantee you it's probably not another school in the country that's played 7 quarterbacks in meaningful snaps. There's no way. Not this early in the season. They probably can't do it. If you go to the end of the season, there probably won't be anybody else that plays 7 quarterbacks. Well, really 6, because Hooker would be the 7th. He hadn't played yet, but he's also played meaningful snaps here. So I look at it as a blessing now, because now we can say we have 7 guys on our roster that can come in and play high-quality football if we need them. So, there are no mistakes. Everything happens for a reason. So I just look at it as God is preparing us for something greater later. So, that's what we've been through is for us to get ready for something later. And those guys have done a great job of responding. So I'm just super proud of them. But I think it is, to answer your question, Shamaj, shows the importance of recruiting quarterbacks. So, I don't know if having 3 on scholarship or 4 on scholarship is what you need to do anymore, especially here with our history of getting quarterbacks hurt. So it's really going to make us go in and reevaluate how we're attacking this position in recruiting.
Is there any updates with 3 you lost the previous week?
They'll be, John's done for the year. He's, he had surgery, broken collarbone. But the other 2, they'll be back here shortly. I don't know the exact, but probably a week or 2.
Last for me, I know you had some recruits on the sideline and before the game last week. What is a signature win like you just had Saturday night? What does that do for your recruiting efforts going forward?
Well, I hope it does. I hope it does a lot. I know a lot of those recruits were texting and talking about how much fun they had at the game and what a good win it was. A lot of them hit me up on Twitter. So it's just about getting the word out. We have a product here at North Carolina A&T that I believe is second to none, an environment that you're not going to find anywhere else, a band that's like no other, students that are like no other. So I just want more kids to come in and have a chance to experience it. And that's the good thing about having kids on campus, so they can go back and spread the word and let them know, man, you need to go check out A&T. That's the place to be.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, and God bless.
All right, just a reminder, if you have a question, just raise your hand, wait for the microphone. No, it's frustrating, but the folks online want to hear your wonderful questions, and they come up to me all the time saying they're yelling at, they can't hear the questions, so please wait for the microphone. We're going to bring up our quarterback who led us on the come from behind win. He is Noah Sanders. Noah.
Thank you, Pride. Good afternoon, everybody. First and foremost, I want to thank God for this win. I always say, my mom always tell me I serve an on-time God. So I don't know which mic I'm speaking into, but this one. But I serve an on-time God. If anything happens to show us that Saturday, it's that. So I just want to say that before I do anything else.
So, Noah, you obviously transferred here from Delaware, and other guys here, I guess at some point you found yourself not the starter. How do you stay mentally ready, engaged, and just prepared for the moment you had this past weekend?
Yeah, I think it's just comes with controlling what you can control, like Coach said. Regardless of what happens throughout the game, throughout the season, I think it's really important to just stay in it. I think something that Coach McGee told me, something that Coach Gibbs always says, just be ready. Be ready for the opportunity. And I just want to make sure I'm doing everything in my power to meet the opportunity wherever it comes. So.
Yeah, prior to last week, when you were getting first-team reps, can you just give us a week in the life of what it's like to be, I guess, a scout team quarterback here? How much work are you getting?
I mean, like you said, I mean, running scout, but I think that's pretty much the extent of it. Everything else is preparing like the starter, going in, having those meetings, being engaged in those meetings, asking those questions, like you're going to play on Saturday. I think one thing that made it easy going into this past week is because I think as a quarterback room, we call ourselves a pilot and pilot room, and everybody needs a co-pilot. So something that Coach McGee always stressed us, so we all have to fly this plane together. So I think that really worked into everything.
Won't be, first, the last drive of the game, you start off, I guess, inside your own 20. And first two passes are incomplete. The next pass is another incompletion, but you get a penalty, new lease on life. After that, you go 3 for 4, including a 41-yard touchdown. How do you, I guess, sit yourself down in that position and make that play?
Some good happens, keep playing. Some bad happens, keep playing. Coach Gibbs. Coach Gibbs stresses that every week, week in and week out. I think everybody on this team understands that and really understands that message. And, you know, going into that, I think there's no doubt in my mind that the offense couldn't execute.
No, there was a moment out on the sideline before you went back out on the field where one of the trainers, she just told you, because I was walking past and I heard, she was like, believe in yourself. Was that like a special moment to you? Did that mean anything to you going back out there?
Yes, you're referring to our sports performance. She's helped me a lot. We've done meetings and stuff like that. And, you know, she was just on the sideline, just going in, just keeping my head up, keeping, like everybody on the team was, just keeping me engaged. And, you know, I mean, that means a lot. I think I've heard that countless times throughout the sideline, throughout the game. And I think that's just a testament to the guys that we have on the team, the character that we have on this team, that everybody believes in everybody. And that's something that I really appreciated, especially coming in and having to do that in the second half. So I appreciate everybody that, you know, encouraged me, especially her.
You know, I'm curious, when you were heading into last week, what was kind of going through your head when you get kind of the notice of, okay, this week, like, we might need you, you might be taking some steps. Like, are you thinking about? What are you feeling in that moment?
Just making sure I'm prepared, you know, controlling, like I said, controlling what I can control, and that's the preparation, understanding the assignment, understanding the task at hand, and there really wasn't much to that. I think if you try to do more than that, you're getting outside of what this team is, and this team is something that just put your head down and work, and that's something that I've took with me.
How would you kind of describe your mentality heading into that last drive in the fourth quarter as well as into overtime?
Just the task at hand. I mean, the task was to score. I mean, everything on my mind, everything on this offense's mind was just to score by all means necessary, and we did that.
Awesome. And then heading into this weekend, what are the things that you're kind of focusing on in practice?
I think mainly it's just getting on the same page with receivers, you know, putting in the extra time to, you know, make up for some of those throws we missed early in that drive. But I think that's just going to come with time and reps, and I'm excited for that.
You started off giving honor to God. Can you talk about how being spiritually grounded and how that's built your foundation and really how that's grown with you as an athlete and as a man?
Yeah, thank you for that question. Earlier this week, I had a conversation with somebody I trust. They told me to be still and know that God is God. Verbatim. I'm not saying first verbatim, but that's something that rung into my head throughout the whole week, and just to be still, to understand that this is a situation, this is the task at hand, and everything happens for a reason. I mean, if you can see, it's 7 quarterbacks going down, and, you know, it's the time to step up. So how I took that is I mean, that's God telling you that your time is coming, and just, you know, staying down and staying patient, and, you know, just having faith in Him is truly what got me through that.
How much time would you say that you spend kind of getting in your word or maybe praying or things like that, growing your relationship with God?
Yeah, I think especially in like adverse situations like this, I think having opportunities like this to turn to Him is something that I'm truly grateful for, because it kind of grounds me and allows me to sit back and really think and listen and hear for things and really trust in him. So I really appreciate that.
Anything else for Noah?
One more. So I saw in the spring game, I saw in the spring game, you have a pretty good deep ball. You can throw that thing on the button. So were you, was there a point in the game, Saturday, where you're like, Coach, come on, let me show them. You know, I know you guys do a lot of check downs, a lot of screens, but in the back of your mind, were you kind of wanted to let it rip a little bit?
I mean, play quarterback, you know. I play quarterback. I think if you were to ask any quarterback in the country if they were to, you know, want their offense coordinator, you know, call the play to go deep. But I think we have to understand the situation, at hand, and I trust Coach McGee in the play calling. And I think as the game went on, the trust started to build, and I, you know, trusting the wide receivers, O-line played extremely well down the stretch and played extremely well throughout the whole game. And that's something that I really want to say first and foremost. Oh my gosh, they play so well. Running backs play so well. It made it a lot easier to make plays like that. So I appreciate it.
Thank you, Noah. Great job.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
We actually have 4 players with us. Andrew Brown and Nelson Lane are going to do the internet show, but certainly if you want to talk to them offline when we're done here, you can do that as well. Right now, we're going to bring up veteran wide receiver, Jameson Warren.
Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. First, I want to give all glory to God. Without him, none of this would be possible. And yeah. Any questions?
What was kind of the energy, you know, like on Saturday night after the win? You know, teams excited, coaches excited. What was that kind of like?
It was amazing, you know, when you had a win like that in a long time. So it was great to get a win in the locker room. It was amazing. After that, everybody just went home and had a good time.
So Jameson, we're on the streets, and all you do is make big plays. So we saw that a couple years ago in Charlotte and in Baker American Stadium with a long touchdown. And then Tennessee, big touchdown, big catch on the sideline. What about this game, not tying touchdown, but it got you close. Can you describe that play?
Yeah, coach called the play. I knew it was coming to me the way the defense been running. That play was going to be open, and I ran. I thought I was actually wide open. I didn't know the defense was as close as they was. But once Noah threw the ball, I just locked in on the ball, caught it, and scored. But at that time, we couldn't get hyped because we was still down, still need to finish the game. So it wasn't too much excitement to it. It was just next play.
And as a wide receiver, you guys always want the ball, and you need a quarterback to give you the ball. How, as a wide receiver, were you guys handling this rash of injuries to your quarterback position? What was the thought process in the wide receiver room?
It really wasn't nothing to it. We got plenty of good quarterbacks, so it was just next guy. That's all it is.
And why did you have confidence that Noah Sanders, when he got in the game, that there wasn't going to be a drop-off? Why did you feel you guys could still have a chance to win?
Because I felt like no matter what the situation is, we can still have all healthy quarterbacks. We can just pick one. You can close your eyes and pick one. So that's how it is when it comes to our team. So once he came in, I was just ready to make the plays.
You know, you talk to a lot of people that Hampton game isn't necessarily a rivalry game, but you've been here the last couple of years or so. You've kind of seen that intensity. Did it feel like a rivalry game to you guys, or, you know, obviously after what happened last year as well?
Yeah, they did beat us last year, but this was really a focus on this our first CAA game, first conference game, so it was just going out there trying to make sure we win that.
And then, you know, obviously this week you have, North Carolina Central. Just talk about that game. Obviously, another situation where you guys are looking to end the streak and get some redemption.
Yeah, of course, it's a personal game. It's Central, but at the end of the day, it's the next game on the schedule, so we just want to make sure we go 1-0.
How has the confidence of the team grown after a win like that? I mean, you know, first one of the year, but how's the confidence kind of grown as you've seen?
I feel like if anything, it just showed we can really win. No matter what's going on, we can win. I just think some of the young guys need to finally see how it is to win here, the support you get after the game once you win. So was really a great confidence boost. So I'm ready to see what we do this week.
I know it's going to be a lot of, or there always is a lot of kind of trash talk out there and stuff like that. How do you kind of stay even keel when it comes to like a big rivalry like this?
The trash talk, it really just, it gives you a boost. It makes you, sets your hair on fire. It makes you want to move fast, makes you want to hit hard, makes you want to just make them plays you never make. So I like the trash talk. They're going to do a lot of talking, but as you see, we're going to come out, we're going to play. They're going to talk, we're going to play more. They're going to talk, and then we're going to finish the game.
Anything else for Jameson? Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, we're going to transition to our internet show. We got some refreshments in the back. You'll stand in line while we transition. Certainly, if you want to grab Andrew or Nelson from the side, you can do that as well. Thank you so much.